We've seen the OC, we've seen New York, we've seen Atlanta, and we've seen Jersey. But I got the advanced peek of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Every week, America watches while our next guest and her co-stars slap the spray tan off each other on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Because I just heard about this last year when I was talking to Anderson Cooper, and he said, if you're not watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, you're missing something. And so I listen to whatever Anderson Cooper says.
That's why last night I tuned into the amazing Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion episode. On the Real Housewives of New Jersey, we could have Amanda Holden delivering the baby.
In September.
So I want to bring in the lovely ladies of Bravo's Real Housewives of Atlanta.
We live in an age of reality television. Our society is fascinated by the so-called reality of people we've never even met. Few TV networks have exploited this fascination better than Bravo and its Real Housewives series.
Here's to hoping my boob doesn't fall out. Here's to the exact opposite.
6 years ago, the Real Housewives series began with a single season of the quote-unquote Real Housewives of a single city, Orange County. Today, if you turn the channel to Bravo, you're likely to see Real Housewives, but they could be from Orange County, Beverly Hills, New York City, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, Atlanta, or Bravo's most recent edition, Miami.
I thought that Ramona and I...
At this point, you're probably asking yourself, what's wrong with that? So we love watching the Real Housewives drama unfold each week. Where's the problem? I sat down with Dr. Ronald Becker of Miami University to get the answer.
I mean, normalizes, I think that television in general, the mass media in general, the more it offers a certain narrow vision of what people are like and what they do, the more it normalizes certain ways of behavior. And the less interaction you have in your everyday life if you're a viewer, and the less interaction you have with upscale African American women from Atlanta, the easier it is for you to get duped in a way to assuming that that's a realistic depiction of what upper class black women are like.
So what happens is, those of us who watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta subconsciously develop this belief, this misconception really, that the normal way for sophisticated black women to act is like this. And experts aren't the only ones who notice it.
I feel that it kind of perpetuates the gold-digging black woman, proud, kind of ghetto, bitchy, if you will.
I don't feel safe around her, to be honest, and that is not a good feeling.
Despite the fact that many viewers realize just how unrealistic this reality is, The Real Housewives of Atlanta has continued to be one of the most watched shows on television. In September 2009, Nielsen Media Research ranked it as the #1 assisted reality cable entertainment show on television. It was Bravo's first ever reality series to hit the 2 million viewer mark among adults 18 to 49, and the series' season finale that aired on January 23, 2011 was the highest rated Real Housewives episode ever, drawing in 4.5 million viewers, a Bravo record. But it's easy to see why Atlanta attracts the largest and most loyal of the housewife audiences. In comparing the most recent season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta to the most recent season of The Real Housewives of Orange County, for example, we find that Atlanta had 4 fights that turned physical, whereas the OC had none. Even the most contentious confrontations in Orange County amounted to nothing more than a screaming match. Think about it. Which would you rather watch?
Just because the producers don't intend to reinforce racial stereotypes around aggressive African American women, if the editors constantly play off of those images and those moments because they're good TV, the consequences could be to reinforce among viewers this notion of African American women as over the top in terms of confrontation.
So even if the producers are driven solely by financial incentives, the end result is that the viewer comes away with this notion that upper-class black women are always fighting with each other, even over the most trivial of issues.
She didn't say hello to us. Did you see her? So you're all together right now, and so you all like each other? Okay. We're cordial. Yeah, very cordial. No. There's no going in your eyes.
I can't stand fake-ass girls, and I'm not going to smile in your face and pretend to like your ass.
Atlanta's viewership continues to increase, and as it does, these stereotypes continue to be perpetuated. But it's not just African Americans who are being typecast because of the Housewives series. When The Real Housewives of Miami premiered on February 22, 2011, we were introduced to a whole new set of housewives, and consequently, a whole new set of drama.
Isn't one of them.
In the new series, 5 of the 6 housewives are Latina. And interestingly enough, each one of those women seems to fully encapsulate one of the 2 major stereotypes that exist for Latina women in our society today.
There and everything that's going on. My partner, he wanted me there 3 hours ago, but I had to go get ready.
I sat down with Dr. Elena Alberon to figure out exactly what those stereotypes were.
One is almost a literal interpretation of Carmen Miranda, that sexy, gibberish, curvaceous, vivacious. That's often called the Latin bombshell, that kind of type.
Oh my God!
And there's definitely no shortage of Latin bombshells in Bravo's Miami series.
It's like no work, just fun, party all day. Everything from wannabes to has-beens to trash. So then later when I got divorced and I was single...
The stereotypical over-sexualization of the Latina cast is so obvious that even the average viewer can't ignore it.
I think that just the image that has been commodified and that has been that's been reproduced so many times relates to Latin American stereotypes today, because Latin Americans, it's just the body type and the luscious lips.
Here is very free and very sexual. It's so hot.
But the bombshell isn't the only Latina stereotype we see in Miami.
Another is the Madre Santa, or the sainted mother, which is the typical Catholic female head of household that is infallible.
Because of these stereotypical representations, we as a society come to believe that all Latinas fit into one of these 2 roles. So the question then becomes, how do we fix this problem that the various Housewives series create? How do we overcome the stereotypes that are reinforced by these black women in Atlanta, Hispanics in Miami, or even white women in Beverly Hills?
We can become informed consumers about it, find out what's at the root of the stereotype, then we can look at it with a more critical eye and then consume more selectively.
So to make a change, we as consumers have to change what we do. So whether you're white, black, brown, or yellow, if you don't like how the housewives represent your race, do something about it. Don't just sit back and watch as your race gets a bad rap.
It's the table flipper.
Well, it's Beverly Hills, so we don't actually flip tables. We have somebody